are about to see is real.
Look at that, the on-off switch. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you this evening? Everybody doing well?
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you so much for that introduction. My name is Chad Netherland, and to date, I hold 11 Guinness World Records in the strength and martial arts categories. What I wanted to do for you tonight is something a little bit special. We find our roots in the martial arts, and I think we have to go back and we have to really elaborate and never forget where we come from. But I want to do a few things for you tonight, and I want to introduce a very special guest. He doesn't even know I'm going to do this yet, but I want to give a little bit of a backstory on my dad before I introduce him up here. So, as I traveled all over the world and doing all kinds of crazy things in TV shows, and I'm a character in a video game, the number one question I always get asked, how did it begin? And so it began right here. This was our family dojo. And where is my dad? Is he even in the room? We're going to have to put out an APB for a doctor member. But he's missing this. All right. Well, here's my dad at his very first dojo. And you can see it's a very nice established dojo with air conditioning, some really nice open windows. And you notice the bags off to the side here filled with concrete and a little bit of sand. And that was our training regimen. He started doing a lot of crazy things back in the day, and then laying on a bed of nails and doing a lot of things that I now hold Guinness World Records for. And he was really the pioneer in a lot of the things, there he comes, that you'll see now done by the power team and done by a lot of martial artists and a lot of performing strongmen. This is a nice blindfolded sword cut. This was back before you had to have proof of insurance, before you could do things like this. This is still something I still can't do after almost 30 years in the martial arts. Standing on one leg and having somebody trying to push you over. Having 3 people trying to push you over on one leg. Standing concrete break. This is a nice concrete break with no spacers. Who do you know that does that? Not me. Nice big concrete break with no spacers. And here's where I come in. I'm the small one, by the way. Yep, started training at a very young age. Actually, my mom's in the crowd. I think she went into labor in one of his martial arts schools, and there you go. Once you have the fever, you're born into it. Started breaking at a young age. I still have this outfit, by the way, and I typically only wear it in Las Vegas or in Reno. And when people laugh about that outfit, this is typically what would happen. But this is me at a young age. I was very, very strong at a young age. This is a red wagon. And so as I progressed through my career of bending, breaking, and picking up things, I progressed from red wagons to red trains. I held back 2 sightseeing trains in St. Augustine a few years ago for Ripley's Believe It or Not. So my dad and I would go around and we would do all these crazy feats of strength, and we would do amazing things that no one else were doing, and all of a sudden we realized there's a lot of world records for this. We started to capitalize on it. It's a lot of stuff we've done for charity, and it just kind of snowballed. These are some of the key things you're going to see tonight. This has no relevance whatsoever. I just thought your hair was awesome, Dad. I've never seen a picture with him with hair. Professor Cale, have you ever seen him with hair? Never seen it. There you go. So he breaks rocks. He has an amazing book called The Legend of the Stonebreaker. This is that's something you'd want to take a sledgehammer to. He breaks stones. World record after world record after world record for breaking, holding things. Landed several times in the Guinness book, as well as Ripley's book, for doing feats and crazy things. The largest stack of concrete ever broken in the world. Mm-hmm. So what do you do after you've mastered breaking and destroying things? Well, this could be a possibility. Or you could go to Disney. That's about most sports. Or you could end up with the rest of the famous martial artists right here at the United States Martial Arts Hall of Fame. There's a good picture, right? Round of applause for this picture, right here. Professor Cale. I said all that to introduce my mentor, Dr. Dan Netherland. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for coming to the Hall of Fame. Every man you see up here has a unique set of disciplines. Each one has developed them according to who and what they are. There are certain forms, certain X amount of this is this. But when you have someone that reaches a pinnacle, they start to develop in who and what they are. And that's what all these men have done. That's why they have such an accumulative knowledge that can aid you, that can help you. You may not be able to study anything from me, but you could from him, or him, or him, or him. Nobody has it all. Anybody that tells you they have it all hasn't studied very long. Those that have studied 50 years and beyond, they know, my gracious, there is still so much I don't know. What can I do? How deep can this go? What can we actually accomplish when we have committed something in our life to something beyond everybody else's grasp? That's what the martial art is. When I was a little boy, I had polio. I was never supposed to walk. I was diagnosed in 1949, maybe 1950, I don't know. I began a study of the martial arts in 1954 to try to overcome what had happened. When I started, I couldn't stand, I couldn't kick, I couldn't hold stances. So I started sitting, and I would break things. I learned the hand techniques. I learned the correct operation of getting your body from a seated position. And I broke twigs and popsicle sticks, and some were challenging. But I kept going and going. Someone said, what was the first brick you ever broke? I have no idea. No idea. Well, when's the first time you started breaking a bunch of concrete? I don't remember. Woolly mammoths, I'm pretty sure, were around at that time, but I don't remember. It's been a long time. But in the process, you learn. There is no 90-day wonders. There is no one that develops super quick, no matter how well coordinated they are or how good their technique looks. There is nothing that takes the place of determination and perseverance. Someone that studied 5 years, someone that studied 10, somebody that studied 20. You say, which one could teach me the most? The one that studied 20. Oh, but he doesn't look as good as the 5-year one. Not about looking good. Looking good works great when you've got a cooperative uke or partner. 20 years, you just got experience. And you really don't care anymore how good you look. You just want to smack your enemy. And then they become enemies. Not partners. Not just ukes. You don't smack unless they're an enemy. You learn to walk away, walk off, leave them alone. Are there stupid people in the world? Yes. So what do? You don't do stupid things in stupid places with stupid people, else you become what? Stupid. Thank you very much for playing. I found out very early that you have an internal ability in you. Internal power. It's called ki, it's called chi. You might as well call it banana pudding. It doesn't matter. A name doesn't make something. And it's not something that floats around like a mist. It's something that comes from the inside, and every one of you have it. In the beginning, the Bible says God created man, and he placed man in the garden, and he gave man authority and dominion, power to subdue everything on the earth. Our heritage, your heritage, my heritage, is power. Power to subdue, power to have dominion. That was God's opinion. Well, how do you get it? It's already there. You got to wake it up. You ever notice? Have you ever sat and your foot's gone to sleep? So if you keep talking, my foot's going to go to sleep. You've got to wake things up in your life. How do you wake them up? You got to want them. You've got to desire it. You've got to strive. You've got to try. You've got to do. As a boy, I had polio, couldn't walk. I pushed and pushed. And lo and behold, I found out after I got about 55, there's a thing called post-polio syndrome. So where you had polio as a child, it tries to come back when you're an adult. So what do? You keep pushing. And then one day you find out, lo and behold, you've got cancer. And what do? You keep pushing. You never stop. You keep going. You do not quit. You've got that inside you to have dominion, to subdue. You just got to want to bring it out. Yes. Problem is that most people don't want it bad enough. They want somebody to give it to them. They want somebody to sprinkle it on them. They want somebody to give them a piece of paper that says they've got it. Nothing beats experience. You got about a half a century experience up here. Some of them more than others. Internal power. Call it ki, peanut butter, whatever you want. Internal power. You all have this inside. Now, I'm going to hold my arm out. I'm fairly strong. I'm going to hold my arm out, and I'm going to get him to try to bend my fist to my shoulder. Okay? All right. What I was thinking about is, that hurts. He's bending my arm. In front of all these people, I'm looking stupid, incapable. As long as I am concerned about his ability, my ability, and what you think, I'm going to fail. When I could care less what you think. You say, well, that's not nice. Sure it is. I could care less what you think. Why? You're not going home with me. This time, I'm not going to worry about him pushing. This time, I'm just going to relax. Now, at no time does my arm leave my shoulder. At no time am I going to tighten up. Now, you saw earlier I was tightening up to where you're shaking. I'm not tightening this time. Let's get this stuff over here.
Ole for Jose.
Hey. All right, again, my arm's still there. It's not bending. You say, is that a trick? Come try it. Let's get one more. Let's get this. Hold on, Lee.
All right, kid. We're ready.
All right, I'm still not struggling with it. The more they come, the more they put in, the less I actually have to do. You just turn the energy back on yourself. Now, did we beforehand pre-plan this?
I didn't.
Did I give you 75 cents? You've got that inside you. You've just got to learn to bring it out. Well, I want to break something. You've got to be willing to break something. Your hand, your elbow, your fist. You've got to be committed. You've got to be committed to anything you do. You've got to be committed to live. How many of you in here are fighting sickness? Raise your hand. Come on. You're fighting sickness. Don't go, I don't want to say it because somebody will think I'm being a weenie. If you're fighting sickness, raise your hand. Hi. Hi. Okay. What do? You don't give up. You don't give up. Every day you can quit. Or every day you can face the world. In this world, you're either a victor or a victim. There's nothing in between. Victor or victim. All of that comes not from all this foggy stuff outside, no, where it all is going to be. It all comes from your heart, your focus, your purpose, your willingness to face adversity and not give up. Don't give up. Well, how long do you have to keep at it if you're sick? Till you're not sick. How long do you keep at it if you can't move? Until you can move. How long do you keep at it where people are telling you, you're not going to make it? Ooh, you got the big one. How long do you keep? Until their enamel on their teeth grows together. Their lips are fused shut. And you don't have to listen to them anymore because you live. That's what you do. You live. Now, in this world, we're oftentimes pushed around. Now, he can push a car, water buffaloes, all sorts of things. All right, I'm going to, again, tighten up. Tighten up, try to fight. What happens when we tighten up? We break. I'm going to tighten up and try to keep him from pushing me. Good. He can push me if I'm tightening up. Okay. I'm going to